Welcome to the Not Nerd Show. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Hey there, hi there, ho there.
Hello.
I got something in the background here that I'm excited to share with you. But first, I'm excited to take a look at your hat. And
Yes.
I see your background. You might have a hat collection going on.
Yeah.
We're going to cover our main topics, our pro tips of the week. I've got a good one this week. Just the headlines, our takes, which are not so hot. Bonus hot take picks of the week, and more, Nate. That's what I
Yes.
got to say. So
much more.
Tell me more about this yellow hat that you've got.
Yellow
going
hat,
on.
yes. This is one I've been saving for today
Okay.
because I have officially hit
What? Middle age, glass half full, many sore parts. That really should say so many stories.
so many stories.
So many stories.
Middle age. Yes,
I kind of feel like you're over middle age.
Well, here's
What's
my
middle age?
math. I took the average age of my grandfathers when they passed, and I am half that age. So,
Now, I wasn't on math team. What math elite? What is it that you were on?
I was on the math team. Well, I was an honorary member of the math team because I placed well at a area math competition, which earned me my math letter.
Lettered in math. That's what it is.
Lettered in math.
Lettered
yes.
in math. So I didn't letter in math. You'd think I would remember that after all these years. But why does it matter the age of your grandparents? Is because you are associating that with maybe when you'll pass on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just figure
I-
take your grandpas, average their age.
Since
cut
you're a
it in
data
half.
person, I thought you'd maybe take a look at maybe the U.S. average age.
That's quickly falling, so I'm going to ignore that and go with my grandpas. Although they both lived healthier lives than I did. Oh, producer Todd's in the chat. Wow, that mathlete story sort of falls apart when you lean on it. And happy birthday, Nate!
Is it your birthday today?
It is my birthday
What?
today.
How am I missing that? Hold on. Nobody
Check
moved.
your calendar, Dave. I was curious.
You should have been because I didn't say anything. Normally
You
I
did
would have.
send me that lifetime subscription on the teleprompter app this morning. I thought
That's
that
true.
was.
Look at this. Nate Heath's 48th birthday. Oh, I just doxed
Oh, you gave it away.
your
You gave
age.
it away.
Sorry about that.
No.
Wow, I really apologize.
No. You're all
Oftentimes
good.
I get you something fun on Amazon, but I didn't do it
Hey,
this time.
there is little that I need, and I am excited. So not the Not Nerd TikTok account, but the PDX Fast Foodie TikTok account. I am at a level where I can start getting free things from the TikTok shop to review. Now I've got to figure a way, because most of it's tech stuff that I want, to sidestep that into the Not Nerd TikTok account. But
Yeah.
yes, indeed.
I was going to type something in response to the real Dr. RAPVHS. Lol. Oh, wow, he's wearing a hat about turning older and you still missed it. How do I say shut up in a nice way? Or
I was trying to lay it on pretty thick there, but
I was busy today, Todd. That's all I got to
yes.
say.
Yes.
How many of you out there were climbing around in dusty old boiler rooms, running cables and sweating your socks off right before the show? You know,
Not
this
me.
guy right here. That's why I get paid the big bucks.
Not me. Fun fact, I was actually at Ancestry Brewing,
Ooh.
where several years ago, you and producer Todd were at a birthday dinner for me with a couple other friends of the show, Mike Peterson, and I think Ray Baylor was there also. So
Yeah, and I believe I've had for my 45th birthday, we went there
yes,
for that as well.
it's a good local spot. Well, anyways, enough about me getting older. Let us get on to the show. I did want to let people know, you might have noticed, if you...
Oh, where'd
Where'd
it at?
my envelope go?
Where is it?
Oh, there it is. If you like and subscribe and have ring that bell, you would have noticed last Wednesday evening that there was a live episode of Dave Plays Games where friend of the show Jared came on and they discussed all things Nintendo Switch 2. That was fun. It was so weird. Isla was really confused. I was sitting there, we were building something, watching what she thinks of as the Not Nerd Show with me not on it.
Yeah.
And then you guys were talking at the end about getting rid of me. So
she's like, "What's happening? Are you being
yes,
fired?"
yes.
Yeah, maybe I need to change the graphic around here to blue
A
or
different,
something when it's
just to signify. But yeah, that was really fun to, I mean, Jared is a big gamer. You are a big fan of gaming. But you guys kind of broke it down. So if you're interested in the Nintendo Switch 2, but I do have a little pro tip. If you have a Nintendo Switch 2, I saw an article this week that the iPhone can be used as a Nintendo Switch 2 webcam. They
What?
have a webcam accessory, but I saw this actually a couple times and the iPhone is officially supported as a webcam for the Switch 2 for doing the
Wow.
chat and the gaming stuff. So that's a fun little fact for everybody.
I'm going to be interested to know how to hook that up, but that's
Because isn't
crazy.
it like 70 or 80 bucks to buy the little camera that Nintendo will sell you?
The one that looks like a chomping flower thing is, I think, 40 or 50 bucks, but Logitech sells just a
Ah,
plain old one, or somebody does. Or maybe it's Nintendo's one that's the cheap one, and Logitech's the one that looks like the piranha plant. But 30 or 40 bucks you can get one. I have that Anker Make one, or not Anker Make, Anker whatever. Here it is. I have this one that I tried, but I don't subscribe to the online service that allows
oh,
you have to pay for the service. So
oh,
I think
yes,
that's why it wouldn't work.
yeah,
I don't know that you can use it without going online. So
yeah. But I'll put a link in the show notes to that Dave Plays Games episode, or just look on the YouTube channel.
yeah, I wonder
But
how many views did we end up getting?
probably millions on that one. It
Yeah,
was, we had, or you guys, I was not involved, had some great action. Well, it says 35 views. It feels like it was more than that. Um,
3,500.
yes.
I have a stat. I might as well talk about it now. Jared and I were pontificating about the number of units that sold, and I went back and looked because I knew it was wrong. Even in the middle of the show, I knew it was wrong, but I forgot to say anything. We said 3.5 billion sold in the first weekend. Billion with a B.
Yeah,
Or
half of the Earth's
wait,
population
no,
bought a Nintendo Switch.
yeah, no, we said 35 billion. 35 billion, which would have been even more. 35 billion. The real
Five per
number
every person on Earth.
the real number is 3.5
Yes,
million with an M. So I'm correcting
yes,
that here, even though I should probably put it in the notes there.
yeah.
I listened
I
back.
meant to actually put that in our show notes, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
That it did set some records
but
for sales,
can
so
you,
it is going strong.
I said 35 billion, and Jared goes, "Yeah, that sounds about right." No, was an order of magnitude
Yes,
off.
the first incorrect information
Uh,
ever shared on our channel.
well, at least we had the 3.5 correct. It was just
Yes,
the point and you know, the
yes.
thousandfold off.
But it does feel like forever since we've done this show, because last week we weren't live on Tuesday. We were live on Monday in the morning for the WWDC. I've heard a lot of people talking about WWDC, a lot of hot takes about how horrible liquid glass looks in certain circumstances. There was a couple of takes that I heard on other podcasts and videos of people talking about things. And one, I believe it was Tyler Stallman, like on the official Apple stage with the makers of Halide and Kino.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about the fact that these are the first developer betas. Developer betas are designed for developers to check their
To
apps and
beta.
start developing their apps for the new operating system, which doesn't come out till September.
It'll be a
And they were
month or so
saying,
before the public beta comes out.
yes, they were saying design wise, their philosophy was that Apple, with these first betas, they push the boundaries. They go extreme on design changes, extreme on things, and they're betas for people to test them out. So
So you can test your
everybody's like,
apps and
oh, Apple, it's going to be horrible. Nobody's going to be able to see their screen. No, they're going to adjust things before the normals get them in September.
yeah,
So,
that's the idea. Yeah, to make any judgment calls on beta software, you're just going to end up looking like a fool.
yeah, yeah. And the other thing, more generally, with all of the announcements that Apple made as compared to last year, I've heard some people that feel like, again, this isn't like Apple executives saying this, but saying that last year Apple acted very unapply in response to what they felt like was a critical need to do AI stuff. So they showed a lot of things that they were hoping to have ready, especially with the Apple Intelligence stuff that, as we know, haven't been released yet. But this year, everybody felt like, hey, everything they announced is in the betas. It's not like, hey, we've got these things and then there's these things coming soon. So it was kind of a course correction for Apple in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of been the consensus that I've heard that last year they kind of went a little to the left, and then they're coming back a little bit more to the center. But I installed the betas on my Vision Pro and my iPad. I played around with it very minimally. I want to do more on my Vision Pro because I've seen some real cool videos of where you can put basically stuff on your walls.
Like a clock or something. But
Yeah.
you can also just go down and buy a clock. So if you don't have $3,500 to spend on a Vision Pro, you can just put a clock on the wall. But
Yes,
there's
but
some.
I can have a clock that no one else can see.
You can have a clock that's 3D. Oh wait, all
Yes.
other clocks
Oh,
are
wait.
3D
Yes.
unless you have one eyeball.
Uh,
So yeah, that's really cool. I put the beta on my two iPads because I'm stinking rich. I'm in the
yes.
1%, so I have two
Filthy with
iPads,
that.
but not on my computers.
Yeah.
Again with the multiple, and not on my phone.
Yes.
Actually, I probably only have one phone that'll support it.
Yes.
To be
And hey,
honest.
Grandma is in the chat, even with the reminder I'm late, but I'm here. Last Tuesday just wasn't the same without you two.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same without all of you. The two, I mean, it threw me off last week, doing the show on Monday morning and not being, yeah. And
Yeah.
I love being off school and
The
a million
whole
other things. I
everything.
don't have any clue what day it is. So now I can get back onto my, how many days away from Tuesday am I?
Yeah.
But so yeah, WWDC. Any other thoughts on? I mean, really, most people maybe in July you would want to install the public betas, but most people will just wait till September when overnight
Yeah.
their iPhone updates and they'll have new stuff. And we will talk lots more about stuff as it gets closer.
Honestly, I haven't taken the time to go through and look at the developer conference sessions to see if
Oh
there's any
yeah,
that I wanted to look at. But yeah, I'm excited about the new operating system. They're going to tweak the design language, but there's cool effects. So hold your judgment. But the iPad with individual windows and making it more Mac-like, that's something that I'm looking forward to them
yes,
continually
oh yeah,
refining until we get to a really good spot this fall. I've already changed some workflows on some things. Like, all right, people, you can get your app over here and you can get an app over here. But if you do this in the old way, it just does. Now you've got a skinny app over here and a
uh,
skinny app over here. And I'm like, that is not useful.
rotate.
So now when you rotate, you can make a window this size and make a window this size. And everyone's
Yes.
laughing at me and Android. And they're like, you couldn't do that before? And it's like, yeah, you couldn't. It was really frustrating. But now you
Yes.
can. So,
Yes. Oh, and I miss Yedup's comment on your guys' number blunder on the
yeah.
Dave Plays Games. Says that's what happens when the varsity math guy is not on the show.
Yeah, I know.
It's true.
I
I
know.
didn't even catch it. I watched the thing, but
Yeah.
I must have not been
35 billion Nintendo
billion.
Switches. Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
So what else we got on the
Well, our main topic this week, I thought we'd revisit this because we've had it in just the headlines and we talked about it before, but the whole 23andMe thing
Mm-hmm.
took an interesting turn this week. So 23andMe was going bankrupt. Everybody was worried that the Russians were going to buy all your health data and sabotage you or something, or all your DNA data. And then there was this company, Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, that was going to buy 23andMe for 256 million. Well, surprise, surprise, Anne Wojcicki, uh, easy for you to say, who is the founder of 23andMe, has raised money to buy 23andMe back.
Yeah. So was the ploy to go bankrupt, sell it as at a loss, and then buy it at a profit?
Yeah, I don't know because it's, I mean, there's a way for corporations to restructure and do bankruptcy and you don't have to go to auction and all that stuff. So it seems like there would be easier ways to do it than, because last month Regeneron agreed to buy it for 256 million, but now Anne Wojcicki, uh, Anne W is set to regain control of 23andMe after a 305 million bid. So that is
With
50,
an
49 million more than Regeneron. They asked for the auction to be open. So apparently she's got a plan to make it work this time.
well, I have um, neglected to remove my data from 23andMe because I'm afraid if I do, and if everything works out, then I'll have to do it again to get to do the data thing again. So I just left it in there, and I read some other articles that said even even though it may sell to somebody who wouldn't have rights to all the data or whatever, that or maybe it was this, that even if you ask them to delete the data, they don't really delete the data anyway. You just lose access to it. So there were a couple things that's like, well, the other party may or may not be able to use the data in the first place, and two, if I remove my account, I think the data's still there. So the only person who loses is me. Everybody
Yeah.
else gets to win. So I'm like, I'm just leaving it there so that I can
Yeah.
access all my cool stuff.
Well, and you are in the majority because I found another article that said 23andMe says 15% of customers asked to delete their genetic data since the bankruptcy. So only 15% of people, because there were a lot of people, oh, go delete your data. And it felt like a lot of people were.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 1.9 million people, which is a lot of people,
It
but
is a
that's
lot of
only
people.
15% of its customer base. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. There is a lot of competition, and I believe there will be a lot of progress in this field, as there has been since these companies came online. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's uh, that's that. Hey, I am going to remind people while we're here, because I noticed we've got some people in the live chat. First of all, make sure you like and subscribe. Ring that bell so you know whenever we're live, because you never know when Dave plays games. And also, when I was
I don't even know sometimes.
yes, when I was able to watch the live last week, I remembered to hit that little heart button or the thumbs up and all that stuff, because that sends a signal out to the algorithms that, hey, people like this. We should show it to more people.
Yeah, so
So
if all five of you click
yes,
the like button, we'll have five more likes than we've
yes,
ever had on any
than we've ever
podcast
done any
in the
of our
past
lives.
8 years or however many.
Yes, yes. And of course, we want to get people on here so we can talk about, you know what,
Uh
Dave?
huh.
Dave's pro tip of the week.
So I actually said I wasn't going to use my phone, but I think I need
Oh,
to use
yeah.
my phone for this one. So I'm going to try to hook it up real quick.
Okay.
So uh, talk amongst yourselves.
Yes, I will.
Should I trust this computer?
Yeah, let's trust it. Everybody cross your fingers while you're hitting that like button.
Yeah. So I'm going to make sure I don't have any um, revealing stuff on my home screen. So let's try this. Is it going to pop? Oh, yes. It popped up. So
Nice.
last minute, it worked out for us. So this is something that has frustrated me time and time again. It's called the Apple Photos app. And if you remember in iOS 18, our current operating system, they updated it and I think made it worse. But Google, I've complained about this in the past. Google has always, in their Photos app, put new photos on the top of the pile and it pushes down the old ones. So you go down to get to the past, just like, a timeline or something buried in the ground. The metaphor works to put the new stuff on top. And then Apple, of course, puts the new stuff on bottom, which I don't know why they do this. But Nate, have you ever had a situation where maybe I have a photo, let's say, that I took of you and I at a restaurant, and it was a tender moment of us enjoying a meal together, but I took it like last December, and then you're like, I want to download that into my photos library, and you do that, and then you go to your photos library, and you're like, well, where's the photo?
Yeah.
And you have to go to like an album. I can show you how you get, there's an album called
recently saved.
Yeah, recently something. It's just dumb. It's just dumb the whole way around. It's dumb all the way down. Here I am scrolling to the very bottom of my list so that I can. Hey, Grandma says the photo thing drives me nuts. The reverse thing or whatever, or that it's shows up in another place. Be more specific, please. But when I finally get to the bottom of my 85,000 photos here, I know there's a way to do it quicker. I'm going to do it the quicker way. I would love to show you all this stuff, but,
There's incriminating evidence within his photos
I will
library.
show you this so you can make them
FBI
small.
might be watching.
You can make them small.
Zoom, enhance.
So you can make them small and go clear the bottom or whatever. So anyway, let me get to where I was in the bottom. Oh my gosh. It's horrid, guys. It's horrid. It's horrid. And it's contextual. So here's how you do it. Right now, I'm at the risk of showing you something I don't want to show you. This is for science. So when I'm in this mode, I've got all month years, an X at the bottom, blah, blah, blah. If I scroll just a bit further, now I'm in the media types. There's favorites, hidden, recently deleted, duplicates, selfies, portrait, recent days. Somewhere in here, if I scroll down, there's a recent album somewhere.
I think if you swipe right on the utilities, you get more utilities options, which there are actually some really great.
Here we go. Here's recently deleted, duplicates, receipts, handwriting, recently saved. There it is. That's helpful. 67,947 is recently. Like, what are we talking about? How,
define recent.
In the past 30 years?
Yeah.
But anyway, so here we go. We're going to solve everyone's problems today, including yours, hey, Grandma. So here we are. You'll notice that the contextual menu has disappeared, which I hate. But you got to scroll up until, now it came back. What's happening? Why is it disappearing? So you have to get your screen looking exactly like this. Then you click the up-down arrow, and you can sort by date captured or recently added. Boom. The button turns blue, and now the photos that were recently added to the library, which in my case is practically one and the same. Yeah. But if I would have just added a photo from an old message from a long time ago, it will show up here as the last image, as long as I have sort by recently added. Now, you can add filters to quickly go to those things like favorites, edited, screenshots. There's also, where is it at? Turn the filter off. There's view options. You can zoom in and out. Do all that stuff. Anyway, for years, I've hated this, and I may have come across it in years past on a completely different version of the Photos app where you could sort by recents. But knowing that you can easily turn it off, but also knowing that it's incredibly hard to find because it's stupidly buried in a contextual menu item that appears and disappears depending on where you have your screen. It's infuriating. So Apple, I hear that in the new version, it's a lot
they
easier.
made some changes.
Well, that's mainly in the camera. I don't know about the photos.
No, they did a lot in the Photos app too. It's got some of the. It's had a slight reversal, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna talk about the beta stuff because it's going to change in the next 4 or 5 months or however many months we have left.
Yes.
So we'll more on that this September when it comes out. But for now, if you want to find the dumb screenshot or the GIF that somebody dropped there, you have to go to that menu item and switch it to recently added. And I'm just going to leave mine like that and see how it works. But hey, Grandma, I hope that works for you.
Yes, and Yetup said 8.5K videos is unreal. I have 185 videos on my phone. Yeah, if you want some scary numbers, go back to our Pafance spring cleaning episode where we went through several of the ridiculous numbers on our phone. Hey, Grandma says, I am such a happy photography camper now. I was going to ask you how to fix that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Real time. Solving the world's problems. That's
show
what we do.
Exists to help Hey Grandma with her photos.
Yes. Well, that must mean it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Just the Headlines. Ooh, we've got to zoom in.
We got extreme close-up.
Nissan Leaf episode of the driveway cam.
Let me go back. I don't know why it's in super zoom mode.
Oh, and Hey Grandma sent 4 blue eating weird guy green stuff coming out of their mouth emojis.
Okay.
Love that one.
As one does.
As one does.
There we go.
There's the driveway.
There's a driveway. Not
you were just trying to rob us of driveway time and the front porch. Looking clean.
The wife's out on a date, so I get to stay home and cook for myself, I guess.
Yes. And Hey Grandma said they're laughing emojis. Yes, I can see that. They're just very tiny on my screen.
Oh, those are... I don't want to criticize people who do art because I'm not that good at it, but maybe the artists could do better than that.
Yes.
But anyway, my driveway is empty. Come visit me, whoever.
Yeah.
I may or may not be wearing pants. Who knows?
Into the driveway.
Yeah. Yeah, Wes, if you do drop by, let me know because it's a little warm in here. So let's just say.
Yes, a balmy 79 degrees currently here in the Tualatin Sherwood area.
72 here in the.
Oh, and I bought a new battery for my thing. It's probably 68 here in my room.
Yeah. Hey, Grandma asked when's dinner. Well, at 7:30 when the show is over, I'm going to heat up leftovers. So.
Oh.
That's what dinner is.
Nice. So. Nice. Well, let us get to Just the Headlines.
An experimental new dating site matches singles based on their browser histories. Oof.
Barbie goes AI as Mattel teams with OpenAI to reinvent playtime with artificial intelligence.
China shuts down AI tools during nationwide college exams. Smart.
Volvo debuts new Internet of Things seatbelt design.
Amazon doubles Prime Video ads to 6 minutes per hour.
The IRS tax filing software TurboTax is trying to kill just got open sourced.
Oh. Scientists in Japan develop plastic that dissolves in seawater within hours.
And those are just the headlines.
I forgot to say, and finally...
Yes.
But yeah, so you know my whole thing with TurboTax and their lobbyists and the IRS tax filing software just got open sourced. Well, that's actually good because the government was going to kill it due to insider desires.
So they're letting others do it.
Yeah, that's great. Good for them.
Take it to Intuit, as Dave always says. We need to make you the T-shirt.
Intuit just needs to die, but
yes. Well, let's move on to our takes of the week. Since we didn't do a normal show last week, we did have a couple extras. And man, I will first of all remind people that we are the most nonpartisan tech podcast on the internet. And we did discuss this story ahead of time, but Trump I think it's Trump International or something, Trump Mobile launches what to know about the T1 phone and the 47 calling and data plans. So the president's son Eric made this announcement that they are releasing a gold Trump smartphone that runs Android that will be eventually made in the United States.
Just like the red hats.
Yes, $499. I did see something. I don't know if they're in this article, but they had some very interesting specs. Like there was a 10,000 milliamp hour high quality camera.
What?
Yes,
That's not how that works.
No, it is not.
And I read a spec that said it'll have 3 gigs of RAM, which most phones now are over 10, I think.
Yeah. Yes. So for $499, you can pre-order the gold T1 phone, and then for $47.45 a month, 47th and 45th president, you can get the unlimited talk, text, and data, and no long-term contract. And so that's a wireless plan. It's based on AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon's carriers. So it's using all three, 6.8-inch screen. So
some details are confusing, says one of the headlines, and then also Gulf of Mexico label is on the map, which is interesting. But looks like they maybe rushed this one to press.
Yeah, I don't know what the rush was, especially with the phones not initially being made in the US, here it is. The site references a 5,000 milliamp hour long life camera. That would be battery, not camera.
Yeah.
But yes, it doesn't list a processor, even under the headline marked processor. Storage and memory specs are mixed up, listing the RAM as 12 gigabytes of storage and the memory as 256 gigabytes of internal storage.
Oh, so it does have 12 gigabytes of RAM. That's good, because I saw one article that said 3, but it was probably because it was not listed correctly.
Yes. And it says down lower, late to the celebrity phone trend. Has anybody ever bought a celebrity phone?
There was that one from the cartel guy in Mexico or South America somewhere. I can't remember.
Missed that one. I didn't. Do you have one of those in your collection?
No, it was absurdly expensive.
Yeah, this is wild. I would love for the Trump organization, to send me one to test, but I will not be investing $500. Although a gold phone, man, I guess I could buy a gold case for my iPhone.
Looks like there's a couple other things in this article, from Trump phones to Instant Pots, snow globes.
Yes,
they talk about a 45.
Some of the other products.
Make America Great Again slogan. So take a look at this article if you've got an interest.
And yet it said made in the U.S. or just assembled in the U.S. Well, they claim, they will eventually. They're going to, if they exist that long, be assembled in the U.S. But yes, many of the components, there is no infrastructure in the U.S. And part of this, the president keeps telling Tim Apple that they need to make all the iPhones in the U.S., within the next couple of years. So
since Tim Apple won't do it, he's going to do it. I can guarantee you, I'll sell all my stock in this podcast if I'm wrong. That phone, none of the components, nor will it be assembled in the U.S. ever. I don't even think the assembly is going to happen here. Who's going to assemble it?
Is the phone even going to exist? Hey, Grandma, trying to contain my comments on this questionable phone. I just don't know.
I think this is the crux of the story. Do not buy this phone.
Do not.
And I mean, maybe you want it as a collector's item or as the memento or something. But only buy it do not buy it if you want a good phone.
No.
But anything is better.
There are plenty of wireless plans with unlimited everything that are cheaper. There's also something about there's going to be like pharmaceutical benefits tied into it. I think we better just move on
Yeah.
before we figure out. Oh, producer Todd, I'll double down on Dave's prediction and predict the whole thing will end in fraud and lawsuits.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah. So speaking
likely.
of lawsuits, Disney and NBC Universal sue Midjourney over copyright infringement. So I don't know if we've seen any AI lawsuits of this magnitude with Disney and NBC Universal. I mean, that's a pretty big
This was something I think
conglomerate.
Disney's been working on for a while. They wanted to
Yeah.
get all their ducks in a row. But apparently, this is just information I've gleaned from other sources. You can just say, hey, make me an image of Captain America punching Hulk, and it will make images of those characters, those copywritten characters, just on the fly. Not, you don't have to massage it like make a green monster who's really angry and muscular. You can just say his name and it'll make Hulk. So that's a problem.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out, because that is a concern for many content and intellectual property owners that a lot of these AI organizations have not put in substantial. I mean, they sucked up all the data, but
Yeah.
letting it be recreated is something that Midjourney doesn't seem to be. And I'm trying to remember when I used Midjourney, if it would let you do that stuff like Gemini and OpenAI. It'll just tell you we can't create stuff if it's famous people or.
I'm still trying to get it to make sexy swimsuit versions of Nate Heath, and it's like, nope.
I've got the real thing for you.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the Patreon. Well, next up, you guys have been waiting. It is here.
Uh-oh.
Glad Yetup's in the chat. It is Microsoft Patch Tuesday, June 2025 edition.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And after last month's edition, we had a discussion with Yetup, and he works in the Microsoft and deals with this stuff all the time. But he was saying that we maybe give them too hard of a time, that they have all these vulnerabilities, but the fact that they work on them every month and they have a regular set time that they're going to release this. So when systems administrators have to do all their updates and all this stuff, they can get the updates, they can test, and then they can push it out when you're dealing with hundreds or thousands of computers.
It's done in a very organized method.
Yes. So,
but says, let's go.
Microsoft today released security updates to fix at least 67 vulnerabilities in its Windows operating systems and software. One flaw was already under attack. So,
Did they list? I did not look at this article. My apologies. Did they list?
You didn't read through it? You don't get this one delivered directly to your phone? And
let's just say most of the time I look through all the links in the notes just to be familiar with it. Today I just didn't have a chance. So, Nate does such a good job. He posts the
show notes,
all the show notes, like a week in advance. I have so much time to look at them.
And I was even later this week due to circumstances out of my control.
Yeah.
But
I think this is really the only way we can keep things up to date and fresh.
Yeah.
Is if you just throw the
I'm
links in
going through
there.
the news today to make sure I get any last minute breaking news. But there were some Adobe updates. Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome had some security updates. So the reason we do this each month is to remind you to keep your devices updated, especially for security concerns.
Yeah, updated and backed up, because one backup is none backup, and you can't move forward unless you back up. Behold the power of backup. Now, Nate, please remind us, what do you have any affiliate links or anything for your backup
if
solutions?
you go to notpicks.com, there is a link to Backblaze, which I recommend for very secure cloud automated backup for your computers. I was just talking to somebody the other day, because they're like, I've got my laptop and I've got a lot of stuff in there and I never remember to back it up. And I said, go right now to Backblaze, $9 a month. You can get 2 years for $189 and get peace of mind. I've
Yeah.
been very happy with them, use them for a lot of my clients, and
We've
works very well.
we've talked about this before, but let's say you have a bunch of data and you want to put it on a drive to back it up, and you're like, well, I've got like 6 terabytes of data, so you have to go buy a big hard drive from Home Depot, or not Home Depot, Best Buy. Yeah, or I think Home Depot probably does sell them now.
Yeah.
But you go buy one, it's like 70, 80, 90, or $100. Well, look, for $100, you can just back it up in the cloud. Now,
Yes.
remember, like I just said, one backup is none backup. But if you're going to do redundant backups, one of them should be offsite and in the cloud. It just
Yes.
makes the kind of sense that does, as our friend Renee Ritchie says.
True. Well, some more rough news. Anker, one of our beloved brands,
Mm-hmm.
is recalling over 1.1 million. Couldn't you just say over 1 million power banks due to fire and burn risks? So the
Yeah.
Anker Power Core 10,000 power banks. Stop using them immediately and contact them for a replacement. Now, I don't think I have one of those. It doesn't look familiar.
I don't think I
Um,
do either. I've seen those around, but I've got to tell you, I'm a little disappointed because um, I'm I think I mentioned it when I got them, but I got one of those little portable speakers that's at work. Actually, I'm looking over there for it, but it's at work. You know, one of those little Anker sound core
oh, yeah.
things. There was a recall notice on that because the battery could do whatever, and I'm like, I barely use it. I'm not going to go through the trouble of sending it back. I probably should have. And then more recently, I purchased for work one of those conference things, are like this big, and it's a Bluetooth speaker
Oh,
for
yeah.
doing a
Conference
teleconference or a
phone.
Zoom or something off your computer or phone. And that was recalled as well. I didn't send that one back either. Um, but now the third thing in like a
Yeah.
2 year span is another, and this is a very popular product. Like I said, I've seen
Yeah.
this one around, and it looks like it's a very specific, maybe series of
Yes.
ones that are faulty. But
And they were sold several years ago, and they have received 19 reports of fires and explosions that have caused minor burn injuries and resulted in property damage totaling over $60,000, which, yeah, if I had an Anchor thing blow up, I would probably inflate my property damage numbers too. Not saying anybody did that, but
yeah, so here we go. So you can get $30 or a free 10,000 milliamp hour Anker power bank as a replacement model 1388. I'm going to look to see what that is real quick. I'm not sure what that is. I'm just going to type in Anker.
oh, that one has a charge level display and a USB car charging cable
I think it's the
lanyard.
same one that I bought.
Yeah, your previous pick of the week.
Let's see if it
Well, you
is.
can, if you have one of the old ones, you can upgrade to Dave's pick of the week.
Man, I'm having a hard time finding this thing. The
The internet's tough.
doesn't seem like it wants to work. I I can't find it exactly. So do you know for sure that that one is model?
Well, I would guess probably because
Yeah.
yours is common. I was going to
Yeah.
look on. Oh, you got the Anker Nano 3-in-1. Clicking the link.
Too bad you can't go to the web from where you are. You know,
Yeah.
that would be easy to do. I should show you.
And then
how
they
to do
don't have a product number in the listing, of
Yeah,
course. But
it. Of
yeah,
course.
no, it's a good one. It probably is the same one that Dave purchased. So
Yeah.
check your Anker power banks. It is, especially all the ones that I have laying around and stuff. It's like, man, some of those are off-brand stuff, and it's something you have to be careful of. So
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to the next story.
no, you found this one. We've got a little security and privacy story this week. Meta found a new way to track Android users covertly via Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, surprised Pikachu face.
Yes.
Oh my word. These guys now Meta will go to any length achievable to steal your private information and data analytics so that they can sell it to an advertiser who will pay money to splash you with ads. Now, some people like Nate say, well, I'd rather have more accurate ads than others. Maybe people like Mike and myself are like, no, you don't need to know anything about me. I will just look at generic ads if I have to, but I block all my ads. So,
Yes.
That's another conversation.
Yes.
But here it is: a sophisticated tracking method employed by Meta, Facebook, and Yandex. This is another company that potentially affects billions of Android users through covert web-to-app communication via localhost socket. Obviously, everybody knows what this
Yeah.
is. I mean,
Yeah.
why were
Hey,
we so
Grandma was
dumb?
just playing around with local host sockets earlier
No
today.
wonder they took advantage of it. It's just so obvious. No, it's one of these things that they really had to work hard at doing. I think implementing it was probably
Yes.
pretty easy,
Yeah.
but coming up
Basically,
with the
there are some
idea,
open ports. But the interesting thing, it says the tracking method demonstrate unprecedented scope with Metapixel embedded on over 5.8 million websites, according to Built With. So they already have this pixel thing in most websites you visit.
yeah.
And so I don't know what extra stuff they were getting with this, but
Well, it was at the device level and
whatever they
browser
can.
level, which was
Yeah.
bad. I mean, like, are you going to trust a company who's willing to go to these links to steal your data and to potentially, what maybe even worse, make you vulnerable to third parties who could use this information to maybe break in or hack your information to do like phishing schemes or whatever? Because they sell all this data. They sell it. It gets aggregated.
Yeah. I allegedly.
Alleged. Come on. Well,
They use the data to serve better ads for people to pay them money.
yeah.
They used to sell data. They got in a lot of trouble for that.
So
I'm
now
not
they
saying
sell it,
they
but they just don't
don't.
tell anybody about it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
I
anyway,
don't want any legal. I don't want any lawsuits
oh,
from
for
Mark
slander,
Zuckerberg for the Not
slander.
Nerd podcast. Yes.
Disclaimer: for entertainment only, not for legal.
Oh,
Oh,
we got balloons.
oh my word! What in the world's happening here? It must be a birthday celebration.
Yes, yes. We've got our cookie cutters haircuts for kid. That I about jumped on my seat. I'm glad that we have some live viewers watching to call 911 if my heart would have stopped. Thank you, ladies. Does anybody want to say hello? That was a dine and dash. They're out of here.
That was funny. And
You're giggling out in the hallway.
we have a surprise guest from someone in the land down under, I think, who
Oh,
says, when exactly is phishing scheme season? Well, when it comes to Meta, all year long.
and Isla has joined the chat. Thank you for the balloons.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
That was a fun treat.
Yeah.
She lowered the host age by a
Yes.
factor of 20.
Yes. No middle age there.
No, that was fun.
Well, yeah. So this Meta thing, they're still trying to do whatever they can to bypass stuff, and it does say that Chrome has done updates. May 26th, Firefox, DuckDuckGo, Brave browsers.
Yeah.
DuckDuckGo and Brave browsers already maintain blacklist-based protections against localhost communications. So.
Well, I've got a pro tip that we've covered before on the show. You don't have to do what I do, but I have removed most recently two apps off my phone that are Meta apps, and I'm gonna try to use my phone with no Meta apps at all, but I'll probably put it on my iPad mini that I had out here earlier. Different stuff, because it's like I don't have to know it. The only time it's really important to me is when I'm buying something on Facebook Marketplace and people are using the Messenger app, and I'm like, well, it'll send me an email and I gotta go to the browser. But the pro tip is, in most instances, if you just want to use Facebook, just go to the website and use the website. It's not as good an option, but it does work. Or use another,
or use iOS, because this was only Android devices. So.
Yeah, well, I think they're doing nefarious stuff on iOS as well. We just haven't found out about it yet. But you can always just use your computer to, implement various tracking, blocking type stuff on your computer. But on your phone, that is where all of the telemetry data, the location data, the app data, everything, everything about you is on your phone. So if you have another device to do the Facebook Meta type stuff, do it there, and then keep your phone Meta free. So that's my pro tip. But I realize that not everybody can do that, or they don't want to mess with the hassle. They're like, well,
Yes.
I don't care. There you go.
Yes, I'm further on that end of the spectrum. I
Yeah.
care some, but
That's why
not a
this
whole
show's
lot.
so great, Nate. We have
Yeah.
2 spectrums.
Yes, yes. Well, let us cleanse all that junk out of there. Lawsuits and
Yeah.
presidential phones and hacks and recalls. Get to our bonus odd take and go back to a simpler time. This is a great one that Dave found. It is found at perio.com/arcade/iphone.html.
Yeah, I think it's Perillo, Chris Perillo.
Yeah.
He's a longtime internet nerd YouTuber guy. He looks, when you think nerd in
He's the nerd you're thinking of.
Chris Perillo. I spelled it wrong. Sorry. I'm just going to show you who he is because he's got other good content. Here's his Wikipedia article. There we go. Chris Perillo. So yeah, he's the quintessential.
Yes.
He does 3D printing.
He's
He likes
somebody that would
Legos. He likes video games.
Make an iPhone simulator. But yes, this is
He's basically a more handsome version of me. So, but he made this, and I played around with it. Look at this. It's like working on an old iPhone.
yeah.
Stopwatch. Boom. Start. Lap. Stop. I mean,
Tic-tac-toe, coin flip.
You think, how do I get back? Oh, you just hit the home button at the
Remember home buttons,
at the
everybody?
bottom of the screen. Emoji. What does emoji do? You just click it, and it shows you a different emoji.
Yes.
Dice. You win a dice game. Roll the dice. 6 sides. Boom. You got a 5. You got a 4. You got a 3. You got a 5.
Nice.
1.
Rock, paper, scissors. Yeah, that is fun.
And there's only 1 page of apps. Look, you could
Yes.
do not a password manager, but if you need to make a really super
Password
strong
generator.
boom, no one was going to guess that password.
No.
So anyway, it's kind of dumb, but it's kind of fun as well.
That a lot of our bonus odd takes fall into that category.
Yeah. So iPhone
Nice.
simulator from
Styled
Chris Perillo.
after what I have right here.
Oh yeah, there you go.
The
Look at
original.
that. It's so clean and spotless as well.
It's dusty. But it does sit on my desk with many, many other things.
Yeah, that's a fun toy. I wasted probably 10 minutes playing all those things.
No, that is very, very fun. You know what else is fun, Dave?
What's that?
Our picks of the week.
That's right. And I couldn't keep it a secret. I'm sure you saw it in the background. My pick of the week this week is the Nintendo Switch 2. And this is going to turn it off when I grab it. But here it is. Here's the Nintendo Switch 2. You may be saying to yourself, hey, that looks just like the Nintendo Switch 1. And you'd be right. Because it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's bigger, more powerful. It's got better magnetic Joy-Con attachments versus the slide rails. Improved everything. So if you've been sitting there going, man, I've been using this Nintendo Switch for like 9 years. What gives? Well, now you can use Nintendo Switch 2 for another 9 or 10 years. But all the new games, a lot of the old games, you just pay a small fee or it's free, will be upgraded with new graphics, more features, etc. So, and unlike other launches of Nintendo and other consoles, namely Sony's PlayStation, I think you can go in the store right now and just pick one up. There's no shortage. Just go buy one. Don't buy it from a scalper on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace.
No.
Just go to the store and buy one. So
I saw one. Somebody getting a new one because they were trying to upsell it online. It's like, no, I can just walk to the store and buy one thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
don't
so
fall for the
kudos
scalpers.
to Nintendo for actually having supply chain figured out for this one, especially setting records and selling over 3 million of these things.
Not 35 billion, but 3.5 million.
35 billion.
3.5 million is nothing to sneeze at. I mean,
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
So we both lean off the screen. Well, my pick this week, you might remember, it's a repick. You might remember episode 124 of the
Of
show.
course I do.
You were probably watching it earlier this week. The famous Stealing the Spotlight about Beach Buggy Blitz
Yeah.
from April 29th, 2018. Can you believe that? That was a long time ago. What were we talking about? We were things you can buy for $1 billion, T-Mobile, fix roll crawls, the Waze app.
And I think the ones with the lines through it mean that the link is broken.
Yeah, the link is broken on that.
Yeah, I talked about Beach Buggy Blitz.
Oh, that was right around my trip to Uganda. Oh my goodness. Well, anyways, on that episode, my pick of the week was this bad boy, and I'm repicking it. Now, hey, Grandma will recognize this thing, because when we had the garage sale, she was saying that her grandson needed a tripod for his train videos, the train guy. And so I have one of these. I usually keep one in the back of my car. It's a simple 50-inch, lightweight travel tripod. It comes with a nice bag. It's a no-frills tripod. It is not the best, but you know what? It is dirt cheap. And mine, being in the back of my car, it had gotten stuff put on it. And it was broken.
I gotta interject. Elliot said probably way too long. And hey, Grandma, I left the echo on.
Nice.
So I'm so
does
sorry.
Producer Todd. Hey, Grandma.
Yeah, he's getting used to it. So I turned it off. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was
That
thinking.
is the most epic pick of the week ever with the extended echo voice.
I'm going to see if I can change it to where I press and hold, it's echo, and when I let go, it's not echo. So my apologies to everybody. Hey, that's a live show, but please
fell off my tripod somewhere.
What kind of pick is this? That
yeah,
what a piece of junk.
Oh, the little base in the center.
I'm switching to the website until you get yourself
it screws in
together.
There. Yes, but so this $16.99 for this bad boy, which is cheaper, I think, than I bought it the first time. Yeah. It has 4.5 stars on 185,861 ratings.
That is a lot.
Yes, and it says over 8,000 were bought in the last month.
And I'm going to read
crazy numbers.
AI generated text from customer reviews.
Yes.
Customers find the tripod lightweight and portable, with good value for money and effective performance, particularly with RYOBI 1 hybrid powered lights. They appreciate its adjustability with legs that can be adjusted to different sizes and easy to deploy setup while offering sufficient height range from 20 inches. The build quality receives mixed feedback. While some find it solid, others report it breaking within a year of use.
Well, mine lasted about 7 years, but if you just up standard tripod.
Of course, you froze right when you were saying whatever you were saying.
Of course.
So the real Dr. RAP VHS says the bins are a great place to find tripods of all sizes. By the way, they're always so oddly expensive when you buy them new. So a tip for Todd and others who go to the bins or Goodwill: look for the brand Manfrotto. It's not Frodo from The Hobbit. It's Manfrotto. And they typically have a very high quality line of tripods that are used by professionals in many industries. So if you can find a cheap one of those, you should probably go for it.
Yes. You can spend whatever you want on a tripod, and I have many of them. But this one is just a good utility player.
$16, you said?
$16.99. Yeah, Prime overnight.
Bones. That is cheap. If you lose it or it breaks, just buy another one.
It's one that I could keep in the back of my car and not have to worry about. If it was some carbon fiber $300 tripod, then you have to treat it like a Fabergé egg, as we often
like
say.
A lady.
Yes. Well, if you would like either of our picks, of course, you can go to notpicks.com where we list our previous picks. And there's that Backblaze link we were talking about. If you scroll back up right there, the little flame logo.
Oh, there it is.
You can go there. And we love it when you click through the links and we get some little affiliate fees through most anytime. But even if it's a pick that we don't get affiliate fees, we still list it on there.
Oh, yeah.
It's great stuff. And you actually just spoiled our Ramazon purchase of the week.
Uh-oh, sorry about that.
No, I went through the anonymous reports, and I believe I actually know who purchased this one.
I mean,
It
it's
was
kind of spoiled because we still don't know what it is.
Yeah, yes,
There was
out
like
of the
30
products
products
you
on the
saw.
screen.
But my new MOA video camera monitor that I did as my pick of the week. Alex Lindsay, who we talk about often on the show, he used to work for Industrial Light and Magic,
Hmm.
ILM. He worked on a Star Wars film.
He
He
was a
does
Star Wars character.
a Star Wars character. He does high-end video production. Well, he had bought another one of these products, and I responded to him and said, "Hey, I think this one's better." And he responded to me and said, "Oh, just ordered one." Now he works on budgets of millions of dollars, so
Yeah.
spending $62 for one of these to try out, and he does all kinds of lot of live streaming stuff. But I'm interested to hear back from him and see what he thinks of this compared to the other one he purchased.
Well,
But
explain to the fine people what it does. I know
yes,
you've picked it before, or maybe
yes.
you haven't
So
picked it before, but
I did. It was my pick. So this is my older one here. The other one's in my car ready to go. So everybody always knows that the front camera is not as good as the back cameras. You don't have the different options. So what it does is mirror your screen, and then you can put it on the back of your phone or hold it in your hand and frame yourself for the camera so you can use the better cameras. So it's like a video monitor that you would see like on a Hollywood film. They have the screen off to the side so they don't have to be looking through the viewfinder. So it's a mini one of those that works on USB-C or Wi-Fi to be able to have a very small, compact, MagSafe screen monitor to help you do more videos. So yeah, I'm helping out professionals. My
yeah.
pick of the week helped out a professional video person.
Now, I mean, a lot of people who are these influencer bloggers or whatever, they just use their Android or iPhone for everything. So,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, this is great. And, you know, I have the, dang it, the gimbal
Oh yeah,
that
that
I have.
Insta360
I can see
Flow 2 Pro.
myself maybe attaching that to the back of my gimbal. Maybe I think we talked about this
Yeah,
exact same thing when it was your pick last time. But then when I'm doing my video, I know it's pointed right at me. Now, of course, mine does have tracking on it, so
yes.
it
It
will
should
track
be
your
doing
face.
better on that.
But
But
anyway, you may not have tracking on your phone. You may have an
yeah,
older gimbal. You may have who knows. So for $62, you can have a confidence monitor that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yes, yes. I might wait next week. It might be a pick of the week, or we'll talk about it. But yes, speaking of a YouTuber and using iPhones, something I've been watching recently. But yeah, a lot of people will say, "Hey, the iPhone's going to be the best camera. It's so portable. It's got
Mm-hmm.
so many features. You can do so many other
You can go
things."
live streaming
Yeah.
from one device. It's pretty powerful.
Yes. Yes. So
I might
that
buy
was
one
the
of those.
Ramazan pick. Yes. Yes, you should. Well, if people keep going through not picks, I believe you have a birthday coming up.
I do.
Maybe some of us will get the other person gifts for their birthday.
I'll be 48 also. Maybe not. It
Yes.
doesn't matter how old I am. It's how old I feel. And oh
Yes.
gosh, I feel 65. Gotta be honest with you.
Middle age. Hey, Grandma says, is a tripod on Nutpicks? No, I always add them after the show when I'm doing all the show processing stuff.
You should add the
And
pics before so that people
when,
are ready to go,
well,
Nate.
sometimes we don't know the picks before, Dave.
Well,
But when I previously picked it back on episode 124, some of those old ones I haven't added on to not picks. It's more the recent 200 or whatever we have on there. But
well, maybe we
yeah,
shouldn't do new picks of the week and should just do the ones from 100 shows ago
the 100, so I don't have to like technically go back and add them. I can just add them as,
organically.
and there's a lot of those as I was looking for that one, looking through old picks. There's very many things that we would probably not pick again. Your pick on that one was the Beach Buggy Racing Blitz game.
It's still going strong. You can buy it for your
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch. I
Oh,
wouldn't pick 23andMe again probably since they're in the middle of this bankruptcy. But
yes. Yeah, so that episode, man, that was a different time. It was only 35 minutes long.
Well, now we're over. We're at
Yeah.
an hour
We're
and
making up for
5 minutes.
episode 124.
We got to get off of here. People got stuff to do.
Yes, yes. Well, let us do that. Thank you, all of you that showed up for the live chat on YouTube. You can also watch it later on YouTube or find it in your favorite podcast app, some other places. But please hit that like, subscribe, ring that bell, and join us live because it's a lot of fun when we can get in the chat. So now you can get out there and tech better.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Hello
Peace.
to Australia. I got to go there someday.
Yeah, let's go. Not Nerd Road Trip.